I hate to be the person that just keeps barking up the same tree, but it's really bothering me recently. Specifically since I started losing weight, it is bothering me so bad, okay? My first impressions are always ruined. Doesn't matter. If you're a fat person, if you're overweight, if you're plus size, whatever you want to call it, you guys always get mad at me for calling it fat, but whatever. Your life is just set up for you. It really is, because you no longer get a first impression. You don't. Because if you're fat, your first impression is that you're fat.
First of all, where do you get off telling anyone what they're thinking or why they're thinking it? Just because you think that way of yourself, you're gonna put that on everybody else? It's not the world's problem that when you look in the mirror, all you see is a fat person. That doesn't give you the right to tell everybody else what they're thinking or feeling. Stop playing the victim. If it bothers you that much, maybe do something about it and stop projecting.
You don't get to be funny. You don't get to be quirky. You don't get to be cute. You don't get to be anything. You don't get to be hot. You don't even get to be ugly. You're fat. That's just all you are. And anything else that comes after that is just an add-on, a bonus, because nobody cares. At the end of the day, nobody cares. Because if you're fat, nobody cares what you have to say. They can sit here all day, all night, all afternoon, and they can say that they care about you, blah, 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 but they don't. They don't. Because a first impression is everything.
I agree. First impressions are everything. This video was my first impression of you, and you came off as a projecting, whiny, self-made victim. So yeah, you made a shitty first impression, but it had absolutely nothing to do with your weight.
As much as a lot of people say, oh, like when I first met you, I thought you sucked and now I love you. And that's great, But when that's always the case, it sucks. It literally sucks ass, because you don't get to be anything other than fat until you prove yourself otherwise.
The only thing you've proven by making this video is that you're the one who thinks like this of other people. You are the one who doesn't see anything past physical appearance when you first meet someone. That's why you're telling everyone else how they feel, because if that's the first thing you see, it must be the first thing everybody sees. And I feel bad for you having to live life like that.
So being fat, you're constantly proving yourself. You're constantly proving that just because you're fat, you're not dumb, you're not rude, you're not stupid, and automatically you don't get to be anything else.
Again, thinking that other people think these things just shows how you really think of yourself. If you're expecting people to think these things when they first meet you, it's because you think these things of yourself. I had a broken tooth once and I was very self-conscious about it. I didn't like meeting new people because I assumed that was going to be the first thing they noticed about me, because it was the first thing that I saw when I looked in the mirror. It was something that I would give anything to change, so it wasn't the first thing people noticed. And the funny thing is, it wasn't nearly as noticeable as I thought it was. I looked back at pictures now and I'm like, oh my God, why did I think that was the first thing people were going to notice about me? It's because that's what I was most insecure about. That's exactly what you're doing here. The difference between us is I did something to fix it and you're sitting there whining about it. If you don't like something about yourself, do something about it, because this projection ain't it.
And it literally sucks. And nobody talks about it. And it pisses me off. My whole life. Literally my whole life. I don't get to choose, I don't get to be the nice girl, the nice funny girl. I don't get to be pretty first. I'll always be fat first. And it pisses me off.